Thank you very much. My name is Ambassador Abubakar Jida. I'm the Consul General of Nigeria here in New York. We cover 20 states. As you know, we have 3 missions in the U.S. One in Washington, which is the capital and the political office seat, for example. And then we have the Embassy of Nigeria to the United States of America. I have my colleague who's in Atlanta, who's the Consul General that oversees the activities of the Consulate General of Nigeria in Atlanta, where he covers about 17 states. Well, you talk about the journey so far since my assumption in office since May last year. It's been a roller coaster. When I arrived, there were challenges Nigerians were facing in terms of consular services were not adequate in terms of reaching out from the consulate and to other that we cover from here. We didn't have printing machine, passport printing machine, so Nigerians wait as much as 3 months, 4 months, 5 months to get their passport because we all queue ourselves and Atlanta queue. In Washington, where we have 2 machines that cover the entire United States of America. So we queue, and in the process, these things are delayed, and so Nigerians are not happy at the time, and also they actually need these facilities to regularize their stay. Sometimes they needed to travel for Christmas, and then they need to travel to Nigeria for urgent meetings and all that. So that we were able to change in January. When we receive delivery of our own passport printing machine. So as we speak, we deliver passports in 1 day. Yes.
Really?
That is a quantum leap in terms of giving out services to Nigerians, to our nationals. This office is very important because our mandate is very clear. We are not like the main embassy. Our activities are not much as the main embassy. I know they are similar, but we are uniquely, or slightly different from what the embassy does in Washington. We strictly promote trade and investment between Nigeria and the United States of America. We try to attract investment into Nigeria by engaging investors within the Nigerian community and the generality of the American people. Also, we promote culture, we promote arts, we promote entertainment. We also, like next week is our Independence Day. The Saturday after that, we're going to have the largest and the biggest Nigerian parade outside of the shores of Nigeria, which is called the Independence Day Parade here in New York. So these are some of the things that we invite people to come and see our culture, to come and see how we are peace-loving people. We promote investment as well and culture, of course, in Nigeria. So these are some of the things that we need to we engage robustly our nationals here. As you know, these days, the issue, how to make Nigeria, to change the narrative about Nigeria, to promote the image of Nigeria, the government has done tremendously well in terms of the current administration. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in his wisdom, decided to introduce 4 pillars into Nigeria's foreign policy, which is demography, democracy, diaspora, and development. Each pillar has its own uniqueness. Democracy, Nigeria since 1999 we've not had any interruption in our democratic processes. In fact, we have recorded successes in terms of power shifting from an opposition from a ruling party to an opposition. We've had cases where president died in office and the VP took over. So you can see we have come so far. So this is what we want to entrench in in the West African region, and also the continent at large. So that is why you can see Nigeria insisting that if there's any unconstitutional change in government, we insist through ECOWAS and through the instrumentality of other organizations to ensure that power returns to the people, in terms of people go to vote and then democracy is installed. Is installed, yes. And then development, yes. You can see since the advent of this administration, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has tried so much to bring in investment, in terms of to develop the infrastructure in Nigeria, to ensure that Nigeria compete favorably with globally, especially within the South-South. You are very much aware that he recently returned from Brazil, where Nigeria signed many MOUs, including subnationals in the state of Kaduna, who accompanied him to accompany him on that trip. So, in terms of development, the government is not leaving any stone unturned as such. So, and then of course the ministries, the MDAs, and all that are keen in to ensure that his agenda is achieved. Thirdly, we talk about the demography. You are aware that our population is mostly is going to be 400 million by 250, which is a UN report. Is a UN report on that, and 70% of that number is going to be under 30. So, what are we going to do with that number? So is either we turn into opportunities, or it's going to also be impact negatively for the country. So we are trying to see how we can create jobs. Not everybody can go to school. We are trying to see how we can build skill acquisition centers, and we can empower it. Here in the US, plumbers, carpenters, and so on and so forth. These are big people here. You can't see them without booking an appointment to see them. So we want to ensure that we build skills, we export skills, because in Germany, for example, they came out with a law, they enacted a law that to import skills from the rest of the world. So India is taking advantage of that because of their ICT background and all that, and the policy on ICT in that country. So we must be seen doing something to empower our youths, and also this is an area. So coming back to the last one, which is very important, the diaspora. And this is where I decided that whatever we're looking for is within the cycle of the Nigerian community. Is it the experience? Is it the expertise? Is it the funding? Whatever it is that you're looking for elsewhere is in the hands of the diaspora. So the president, in his wisdom, decided to engage them. There's an agency of that is there in Nigeria called the NIDCOM, Nigeria Diaspora Commission, headed by Honorable Abike Dabiri, where she in conjunction with different missions abroad, harness these skills, harness this experience, and we invite them to Nigeria. Even this afternoon, a lot of them met with the Vice President and shared success stories and all that, and they're willing to go back home to invest, given the necessary incentives and also the enabling environment. So we are trying hard to work with government back home to create that enabling environment, to encourage them to go back home to invest. Their way of thinking has become this like that of the West. So in bringing them back home, you must provide the necessary incentives to encourage them and to make sure they come back home to invest. So this, in a nutshell, is what is going on. And this, like you said, this office is important because we coordinate their activities. So having presence here in New York and other places is important. Nigeria having presence, that we engage them, we have a town hall meeting, we want to know their challenges, we want to know how they are faring, and where they have issues, we try to come and invest. So we don't only wait for them to come here to get consular services, but we also go to them. We also conduct intervention exercises in different states.
How often do you do this?
Well, depending on the demand. Last year we were in Chicago. We conducted the exercise for about 500 Nigerians, and we were able to deliver their passports all in 3 months, all of them, which is not the case in the past. So this is how far we have fared in the last 1 year.
Oh, beautiful. These are very great achievements. But you find some of them complain about, maybe attitude, maybe the way they are being treated, and your coming on board is bringing a different air to this. So how will this be fully taken care of? So at the end of the day, they can raise thumbs up.
Let me say something.
Yeah.
There's no Nigerian that in my 25 years, almost 25 years in the foreign service, I have never seen any Nigerian, except those that are sick and all that we had to pay their ticket back home, who wanted to move back home. But no Nigerian has ever come here to beg us for money. No Nigerian. All they come for here is for one consular service or the other. Now the thing is, Nigerians needs to be listened to. You don't just, this is their house, so you must listen to them, you must attend to them. If you can't do anything, tell them, no, we cannot do this at this time. But sometimes when you don't answer them, they call the embassy, you don't answer. They send emails, you don't respond. They try to come here, they are fenced, and they see us as enemies. But now we're beginning to change that narrative. That is why we created the town hall platform. I have a town hall within my jurisdiction, and I will have town hall in conjunction with the mission in our embassy in Washington and Atlanta, where we cover the entire United States. And we take notes. Somebody will say for 3 months he was pursuing his spouse, oh no, he doesn't know how to reach. We take notes, and then we reach back to them and respond to others. So they are finding that is changing the narrative. That is making them to now have confidence in the embassies and the Nigerian missions abroad. So now whatever it is we are doing, we invite them. We're going to have a flag raising. We've invited the heads of the communities to come, leaders of the communities to come there to make speeches and all that. So when there's engagement between the missions and the community, then it makes it easier for the community to now begin to have confidence in the consulate and other missions that we have here.
Wow, thank you very much, sir, for the time. One more last question.
Please.
Okay, so we look at communication, we look at interaction, and also we look at an enabling environment. These are three important elements that they always want to dwell on. So what will you be doing going forward looking at this?
You mentioned it. I try as much as possible to attend their meetings. And I go to tell them what we can do at the time and what are our own challenges, because we also have challenges. And when you husband and wife, if you don't communicate, you have issues.
Yeah.
But when you begin to communicate, okay, let me give you an example. When a man is marrying a wife, he's coming from a different background, different culture, different upbringing. Even if you are from the same state, you're not raised by the same parents. So she's coming with a different training, different background, and then these people come together under one roof and they expect them. That's why there's no marriage, there's no BSc marriage in university or secondary school. You go and start. No. So you have to communicate and understand, and then it makes it beautiful. After 20 years, they say you are beginning to look like each other, and they say, you married your sister or what? So this is what we want to implement. We're borrowing that olive branch from marriage to bring it into what we do here, so that we begin to engage them. So that at the end of the day, they say we are looking alike. So with that, it's easier to say my problem. It's easier for me to say also for them to say their problems. If it is something we cannot resolve here, we reach out back home and that is exactly what happened when I arrived here. There was no machine. There was no place I didn't enter in Abuja just to ensure that I got this machine. You enter this agency, you say, okay, hold on, and everything. It took almost 7 months pursuing one thing. At the end of the day, we were able to get the machine, and that solved the problem. And so, going forward, we increase the tempo of what already we're looking at our success stories, we're building on it, and then also turning our challenges to opportunities and ensuring that we come up with lasting solutions, and to ensure that Nigerians are comfortable.